There you are, attending a funeral. You're on the front pew, and in the casket is your son or your daughter. They have deceased because they were a victim of a drunk driving accident. They were either the drunk driver, the passenger, or just a plain victim in another car. This could be your son or daughter very easily. It happens every day in the United States and all over the world. I have conducted research and study over statistics of drinking and driving and the consequences of this terrible action. By elaborating on these facts and statistics, I hope to persuade you never to drink and drive and advocate against it. By avoiding drinking and driving, we can reduce the amount of deaths, wrecks, and the emotional toll it takes on your family. Now, I hope to persuade you and hope that you will never drink and drive in your whole life, more or less get in a car with a drunk driver. Now, what is the need of this? Why is it important to attack the problem of drinking and driving in our nation right now? Drinking and driving needs to be stopped so the percentage of wrecks and deaths can be reduced in the United States. According to MAD.com, drunk driving fatalities, 204 in Missouri, representing a 26.6% of all total traffic deaths, which is a 17.7% decrease from last year. Missouri is on its way to eliminating drunk driving from its highways totally. Law enforcement have taken great measures to bring Missouri to the point where they don't have to worry about drunk driving anymore. Of course, it is always a threat, but officers are doing sobriety checkpoints and going after anyone on the road that looks like they may be a drunk driver. Mad.com also reports that the rate of drunk driving is highest among 26 to 29-year-olds in the United States. Drunk driving rates are the highest in the young adults. Now, why is this? Young adults think that they have to live out their lives while they are young, and they feel like that alcohol is needed to do this, but it is most certainly not needed to live out your life. Young adults are losing their lives every day without even knowing the consequences of these actions. These actions are terrible, and they don't even consider what's going to happen to them if they do get on the road without a designated driver. Missouri is on its way to eliminate drinking and driving, and young adults are committing actions without knowing the consequences. Missouri is in the top 10 list of least drunk driving accidents in the United States. Now that you know the problem, you must be informed of the solution. Laws set by the state of Missouri and the effectiveness of them can reduce drinking and driving. There are many solutions to fix drunk driving, and they are in effect today. License suspension and license plates confiscation are huge elements that can stop a drunk driver from being on the roads. In a recent article, Professor David J. Hansen, PhD, stated that DWI courts, sometimes called DUI courts, have proven effective in reducing drinking and driving while intoxicated. Such courts address the problem of hardcore repeat offenders by treating alcohol addiction or alcoholism. DWI courts can be effective and leave a mark on drivers that have been convicted. Although sometimes it may be too late to reach those that have already had a crash and have deceased, it is still never too late to start. The more strict the laws are, the more they will have an effect on the drunk driving. If we can have more strict laws and punishments, that will put hopefully a total end to drunk driving in Missouri and eventually the whole United States. Only you can reduce the amount of wrecks and deaths, have peace of mind, and have the pride of knowing that you could have possibly saved the lives. That is why you must take action now. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention report that school-based instructional programs are effective at teaching teens not to ride with drunk drivers. Teaching kids in high school about drunk driving should be necessary, if not required, by the school. Participation in programs like Missouri Safe and Sober are great ways to help students understand the consequences of drunk driving. Mock car crashes, such as one we just recently put on here at Greenville High School, and along with many other schools, are a great way to get students in and participating and help all the other students visualize the consequences of drinking and driving. Mock car crashes can have a great effect on students and the faculty at schools as well. I know from myself, I participated in a mock car crash here, and I know that it was an amazing experience, and it really touched a lot of students, including myself. Being involved in school and informing students about the risk of drunk driving is key in the future of each and every student. By avoiding drinking and driving, we can reduce the amount of deaths, wrecks, and emotional toll it takes on the family of a loved one. By acquiring and developing the information given to you above, we can abolish drinking and driving in not only Missouri, but eventually the whole United States. So now, I persuade you, audience, to participate and talk to anyone in your family, any friends, anybody you may know that has an alcohol problem or has the issue of being a drunk driver. I just want to remind you that it could be your son, your daughter, anybody in your family laying up in a casket due to drunk driving. Only you can be the one to stop drunk driving in Missouri and eventually the United States.